Hello, and thanks for tuning in to learn more about the Wholesaler track, a new part of the California-Nevada section's Water Loss Technical Assistance Program, or the Water Loss TAP. My name is Kate Gasner. I work with WSO, and I'm one of many on the project management team for this program, alongside Kavanaugh and Associates. Today, I'll introduce how you, as a wholesale water agency in California, can take advantage of the Water Loss Technical Assistance Program. I'll be referring to that as the Water Loss TAP from here on out. Today, we'll be going over first some background as to how the Water Loss TAP came about, why it's happening, and what some of the regulatory requirements around it include. And then we'll go over where wholesalers can plug in, and I'll detail some next steps for your engagement. First, a bit of background on how this all came together. The Water Loss TAP is a direct response to Senate Bill 555 that requires all urban retail water suppliers to submit a water audit to DWR this upcoming October. Most generally, a water audit is a standardized approach of accounting for all of a system's input volumes and, on the other end of the distribution system, accounting for all of a system's consumption volumes to assess water losses over the course of a year. So SB 555 requires those water audits, the summary of that assessment, to be submitted to DWR, and most notably, those water audits have to be level 1 validated or reviewed to ensure consistency of methodology applied across the state. That's where the TAP comes in. This program is offering level 1 validation over the course of a number of workshops and conference calls for urban retail water suppliers. Those that are interested in the specifics of SB 555 and the details of that regulatory requirements, do note that DWR's stakeholder process is currently underway. It will be finalized in a number of months. When it comes to wholesalers, a less recent but still relevant water loss reporting requirement came in the form of SB 1420. This is especially relevant in that it does apply to all urban water suppliers, both wholesale and retail. And this is the bill that adds to the requirement to report supply and resource planning via the urban water management plans. It adds a requirement that says urban water suppliers will provide a water audit on the AWWA water audit software for each year of the reporting period. Those reporting periods usually happen in chunks of 5 years. So ultimately, that means that the wholesalers have to produce and submit water audits as well to DWR. Luckily, the Water Loss TAP has developed this specific wholesaler track to help you do just that. So what will the wholesaler track actually look like? Let's take a look at what we've got planned for this particular offering. First, starting with the goals of the wholesaler track, beyond the regular regulatory requirements that we've discussed earlier, our motivation in offering a wholesaler track is to engage you in an assessment of your system's water losses. So that's the primary goal, is to understand your system's water losses and the costs associated with them. And to do that, we'll have to tackle how, as a wholesaler, you should go about using the AWWA water audit software. So we'll guide you through what specifically that looks like as a wholesaler. We also want to generally appreciate what goes into a water audit is just as important as the results of it. So by that I mean the data maintenance and compilation that a water audit requires is going to be really instructive in terms of reviewing how you take care of your data sets, how you maintain your meters, inventorying those practices and protocols is part of the water auditing process that we find greatly beneficial. And lastly, you will be asked for data relevant to water audits from your retailers. As purveyors of water, the volumes exchange between you and your retailers is a critical piece of their water audits. So we'll be discussing how to best prepare you to respond to those retail requests. What that will actually look like in terms of engagement is a workshop in the spring where we'll review the water audit methodology. We'll review what that sort of data provision to your retailers would look like. And we'll specifically sit down with you and take a look at your setup and your previous audit work if that's been done to date. So we'll have some opportunity for one-on-one review to start and introduce you to what it looks like to build a water audit for a wholesale system. And then in wave 4, or what we're calling wave 4, we'll connect with you on a conference call to review your water audit data as compiled to date. So what is next? To take full advantage of the water loss tap as a wholesaler, we ask that you sign up for a Wave 3 workshop as soon as possible. We have 5 offerings across the state. Those will be occurring from March through May. And we ask that you confer with your team, take a look at the dates and locations of those workshops, and RSVP as soon as possible. Go to this website, that's www.californiawaterloss.org/sign-up, where you'll be presented with those options. Make sure to highlight the fact that you are a wholesaler agency, so you'll be directed to the offerings that are wholesaler specific. That's the next step upon you, so we do ask that you RSVP as soon as possible. And with that, I hope we've introduced the Water Loss Technical Assistance Program's wholesaler track, and you've got a good idea about why we developed it, how to get engaged, and what's coming up next. If you do have any questions, feel free to reach out. One of the best ways to do that is via email at waterlosscontrolcollaborative@gmail.com. If you have questions about the background, where we are in the process of the program, or want to sign up for those Wave 3 workshops, a good first resource to reference is our website at www.californiawaterloss.org. Thank you so much for listening in, and we'll talk to you soon. We'll see you at those Wave 3 workshops.